All right, let's start slow markets. How's everybody doing? Audio, visual check, barn trades. I can still see that message. Let's get going. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Slow Markets. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, in the YouTube chat, there is our top step risk disclosure. Everything that we go over and everything I go over is for educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. We're here to get better, right? It's not signals class either. We are here to understand and hopefully be able to navigate these markets better and better each and every day. So let's get to it. How's everybody? Post FOMC. It is now Friday's price action. Thursday night, depending on where you're at from around the world. But yeah, this Friday's price action officially has started. Love your streams. You're so chill. Thanks, SA. Not SA. OPEX Friday. Yeah, OPEX Friday. Options expiration Friday as well. We got to be aware of that. So let's dive into it. Let's go through a regular rapid fire. Dive into the NASDAQ and then gold. Go through some technicals, answer some questions, see if there's any good setups tonight, what to expect going over tonight, and then into Friday's price action, and just prepare. And then maybe we go through some technicals, right? Answering questions. So daily chart, what a move, what a trend that we've had here in the NASDAQ. What a bullish rally by the dip. There's been plenty of dips, that's for sure. And the question is where and when. We are experiencing one heck of a rally. I mean, it's pretty 45 degrees up and to the right, maybe a little bit more. And measured moves are difficult. We're hitting all-time highs. We hit all-time highs today in the NASDAQ. And yeah, measured moves. How can we look at these measured moves? I mean, it's difficult. It's almost just guessing, right? Measure that move, measure this move, and we're about there. I mean, we ran into FOMC that added some fuel to this fire, this rally, and looked like we were kind of hesitating a little bit a couple days before, and it's hard to be still very, very bullish until we get maybe even a deeper pullback. I don't know. We might even see something like this, right? Where we just kind of keep going, chopping up and to the right. 25,000 is a big number, big round number that we might see. We might see it. Looks like we're not too far away. We're not too far away. We are getting a little bit of a pullback tonight, though. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom into an hourly chart, because there's not really much, in my opinion, here on the daily to pay too much attention to, other than, we just broke out to all-time highs after the pullback down to this level of resistance support. So let's take a look at the hourly chart. See where we're at, see what we're doing. Kind of, interesting. This is today's price action, right? You can see we had that FOMC nice rally throughout London session. I was talking last night about maybe hitting all-time highs overnight, and sure enough, we did. As soon as we got to the London Open, we started hitting all-time highs. However, today's price action in the New York session, it's been a little mute. Not too crazy of a follow-through. I'm looking at some technicals. The first thing that just jumps out at me is possibly a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder pattern that we might be putting in to can we see a leg lower? Maybe we get some selling pressure back down towards some of this support level that we kind of just left throughout the London session. Could this be possible? Maybe. That's the first thing I'm seeing, to be honest. When I look at this chart on the hourly, I see, okay, head and shoulder, possibly. Maybe some short opportunities, maybe just having patience. Not taking the short, but maybe waiting for a pullback and then looking for longs. Friday's price action after FOMC. Can we come back and test some of these prices for FOMC? We rejected a couple of times here during the New York session opened, right? Where looks like the first part we rallied all the way up to 800s, rejected, right back up to 800s, rejected. And then we've been kind of consolidating and didn't go too much anywhere here in the NASDAQ. I know Intel had some big news. NVIDIA had a $5 billion investment into Intel. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but that was big. That's big. It's up like 30%. So let's zoom into a 5-minute chart, and yeah, you can see where we just kind of consolidated here. I had 2 trades today. We'll go ahead. I'll dive into those trades. If we could get to 500 likes, I'll dive into those trades. 500 should be just an easy goal for everybody here in slow markets. 500 likes, I'll dive into my 2 trades I did take during the New York session. But tonight we are getting some selling pressure, it looks like. We broke down through this level. Right, broke down through this level. Support becomes resistance. I don't know. Can you consider this support resistance? Maybe. Looks like we tried to get over these 740s. And then we sold off. I mean, this is a pretty decent sized move for this time of night for slow markets. Let's kind of analyze this a little bit more. Seeing some volatility, to be honest. There might be some headlines. We did open up. It looks like we opened up right around here. We're right at settlement. We are right at settlement. This is where we closed the New York session. And these are some decent moves. We failed to go up. But that's a decent move back down towards settlement. And if we measure this, that's a nice 40-point sell-off. And this is where we opened tonight. We already broke through that. Maybe a buying opportunity if you're brave enough. We're kind of consolidating here at these 0706s. Maybe we get a little bounce up. I don't want to be in any direction. I mean, right at settlement. Let's see. Interesting. All right, let's take a look at gold. We'll get back to the NASDAQ. Javi, can you go over the Russell? Sure. If we have time, I'll definitely have time to, don't mind taking a look at the Russell. So let's take a look at the gold. The gold has been volatile, very volatile. We are finally getting a pullback. We're finally getting some pullback here in the gold. It's been a while since we've seen a few red candles in gold on the daily. Just up and to the right. It looks like we kind of topped off at these 3740s. Over the last couple of days, we are getting a sell-off. Tonight, we are continuing that sell-off, it looks like. And this is a level of support. These 650s is a nice level of support here on the daily. Wonder if we could come back down and test these 50s again. The question is, are we going to bounce off of it? Or are we going to break down? If we end up breaking down, I could see these 3600 evens, maybe 3600, 3590s. Maybe we could find some level of support down there. If this gold starts to catch more of a sell-off, it'd be something I'm looking for. I mean, a sell-off makes sense. It's healthy. It's healthy for this market rather than just going straight up in one direction. Love to see better market structure here on the daily. Let's zoom into an hourly chart. An hourly chart. Yeah, sell-off makes, it seems like things changed after FOMC, right? This is the FOMC candle. We had that big wick up to all-time highs and then just rejected. Today, it looks like something similar during the New York session. We did bounce off of the same level and then just sold off. And tonight, it looks like we have been consolidating, but now it looks like we're kind of trying to push back down towards these 368s. So this would be obvious, a nice level of support. The question is, are we going to test this and find buyers? Or are we going to break through it? I mean, look at these levels of support at this price. It's a strong support level. Let's just say that. The next one I have is going to be these 50s, these lower 50s. This is a major one where you can see where we've spent a lot of time down there. So maybe we do break, if we can break down and find some more selling, this could be down to those 3652s, lower 3650s. That would be the next area. I mean, if I'm short, that's where I'd be targeting, right? For a breakdown, maybe look for those levels. This is an hourly time frame, though. And here's an example. I'm going to be honest. This might be a slow markets trade. It's been a while since I had a trade, and I talked about being able to place a trade tonight during slow markets, and then being able to let the trade play out overnight. Tomorrow's rollover, or not rollover, it's options expiration. This week was rollover in the NASDAQ and the equities. So I'm going to be patient and wait, and then we'll start looking at some overnight trades, right? Being able to place a trade or place orders, let them, hopefully get filled overnight, wake up in the morning, and you can manage that. But this is going to be a good example. I like this setup. Where the setup would be, if obviously not going to be in minis, or it'd be in micros, right? The idea behind this, now remember I did the top step risk disclosure, but the idea behind this setup would be using higher time frames to take advantage over movements overnight. And so, for example, let's just say we want to get in short. We get in short at, say, 36.69. That would be the entry, right? So we could say this is the entry, say 2 micros. Entry 2 micros. And then I like to have my stop loss above or below the pivots. There's a nice pivot right here. And so that's probably where I would put my stop loss, right? This is just purely an example. Stop loss. And then this next level of support is going to be these 36.50s. And that's where I'd be looking for this market to go. So this would be just an example. Go take profit. Something like this, where I would get into a couple micros, not risking a whole lot. You'd be risking, what is this? $12, 12.6 with 2 micros. You could do the math. Maybe just 1 micro, maybe 3 micros or 4 micros, depending on what your risk appetite is. And then I'll just let this play overnight. I'd put this position on. I'd go to sleep. I'll wake up in the morning before, if there's a big news event, I'll wake up before the news event. And then I'll let this thing play out. And, you know, I'm getting a nice 1-to-1, maybe a little bit better 1-to-1, just eyeballing it on that one. I mean, you can make adjustments, right? You could fine tune this as you start to zoom in. Then, of course, you could fine tune and adjust this. And this is purely just an example. But this is how I originally started in slow markets. That's why I designed it. Hey, there's lots of movements that happen overnight during the London session. We see that all the time, the London and the Euro session. There's ways to take advantage of this using these higher time frame setups. Look at the daily, look at the hourly, zoom in and get your entries. And if I was looking at this earlier, I would have loved to get in on the breakdown. So my entry would have been, you know, a little bit better and a much better risk reward, maybe a 2-to-1 risk reward where I could take profits. You know, I'd be in 2 contracts, right? 2 micros. I could take profits down here with 1, right? And then this would be something like take profit number 1. And then this one could be take profit number 2. And this is purely an example. This is getting back to the roots of slow markets, that's for sure, where, you know, placing orders, letting them just run overnight, setting up, I mean, depending if you get the breakdown of that pivot. But I just did an example if you just get short right here, right now. And that's where a lot of risk reward comes in, right? How much am I risking versus how much am I looking to make? Is this a 2-to-1 or is this a 1-to-1 risk reward aspect for a type of trade? So now, dang it. Whoops, there's no undo on that. Oh, well. But what I would do next is a 5-minute chart. I would zoom in. I'd zoom into a 5-minute chart, and then I'll adjust it. I'd fine-tune it. I'm like, okay, well, now looking at pivots a lot better. Of course, yep, my stop loss above this pivot level definitely looks like a good area of resistance. I'm okay with my stop loss down there. Let's take a look at take profits, kind of zoom in, see this, like, okay, yeah, you know, there is actually a lot of support around here. So this seems like a reasonable place for my take profit. Maybe you can make a decision and say, you know, instead of having my take profit down here, I think it'd be more likely just to, you know, have it up maybe on that candlestick. And then you can make these little tiny decisions, right? Fine-tuning, adjusting as you start to zoom in. And especially with your entries. Like, that's what I was saying is that would have been a nice entry. You know, if we, as soon as we broke down, pulled back, and guess what? What was support now is becoming resistance. So if you're able to get in at a better price, then that's where, you know, adjusting your risk reward. Getting in at better price, probability of profit versus, pop and rock. Return on capital, probability of profit, return on capital, I think are those words. Here on gold, let's look at a zoomed in scale now. Zoomed in scale, where are we at? Okay, looks like we opened up tonight's price action all the way up here, all the way at 36.78. So this was the open for tonight, and then it's just been down. We've just been selling off throughout the Friday's price action, right? We opened up down here, selling off. Gold's down 0.2%, and so maybe we wait for some more market structure. It looks like we're already starting to bounce off of these 68s, bouncing off this level already. So let's see. Let's watch it. We'll watch it. Let's get to some questions. We'll also watch this NASDAQ. We'll watch this NASDAQ. See where we go from here. Definitely watching both. NASDAQ right at settlement. Right at settlement. You can see up here on this nice feature I like at on Topstep X is over on the top left-hand side. It'll just show you where we at. And you can also put on, this is underutilized, Topstep's daily levels. If you don't know, let's go through. Make sure I don't know why I struggle with this. This is just a personal problem with me. Anybody? Topstep daily levels. I know I'm doing it wrong. I'm definitely doing it wrong. There you go. Yeah, we're above all Topstep's daily levels. It's all the way down here, and we've just been hitting all-time high. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. There's not really any levels on that aspect, like settlement, this and that. Someone says same. But we are at settlement. We're kind of just hovering there. Let's take a look at news. Any news coming out tonight? We have the Bank of Japan rate decision. That's big. That can move these markets, especially the Nikkei. If someone's trading the Nikkei, Japanese market, that will definitely have an effect. It's coming out tonight. It says tentative. Anything else happening? We got some data out of UK. We got tomorrow. We have a Trump, and okay, forgive me pronouncing that name. I'm not gonna. We just got a phone call with Trump and the Chinese Prime Minister. So yeah, Xi. How do you pronounce that name? Someone please. Fed. We got two Fed speakers, Myron daily, and then OPEC, and then of course triple witching. Triple witching just means it's like options, right? We got quarterly, monthly. Yeah, Xi. Okay. Hey, phone calls. I wonder what's going to come out of that. You got it? Okay. Panda, I go with. Hey, no, I'm not going there. Staying away from politics. So nothing really crazy coming out tonight. Barn trades. Yeah, let's look at gold. We could take a look at gold. Remember, 500 likes, and then I'll go over my trades for the New York session. I'll walk you through what I'm looking at, what I was looking at. Man, look at this. Look at this setup if you're able to take it. We came down, we consolidated, and then we just went straight up. That was one heck of a setup there for, looks like right before London Open. That's the London Open. So if you're missing out on Aaron trades and you're international or you're awake at 2 a.m. Central, Aaron trades the London Open right here on TopstepTV. And man, that was quite it. And then during the New York session, we just sold it right back down. So definitely some movements overnight. That's for sure. Let's take a look at, we got the request of the Russell. The Russell. I don't trade the Russell, but it looks a lot more tradable, to be honest, right? A little pretty more consistent. We got nice price action, ups and downs, pullbacks. I don't trade it enough to be confident to talk too much about it, to be honest. And also, let's take a look one quick time at Bitcoin. Bitcoin buyers have definitely been stepping in. Let's take a look at the hourly. I don't trade Bitcoin, but I was looking at longs, just talking about basic, simple price action. Longs there, and sure enough, that is starting to play out. Maybe we come back and push maybe we hit all-time highs in Bitcoin. Who knows? I don't trade it too much, but I know some traders are looking at it. And if you're new here, or if you just don't know, you can trade currency futures here at Topstep. You just type in, look at these different currency futures you can trade. We got the pound, we got the Canadian euro. I mean, there's a list going on and on. So if you come from a Forex background, there's currency futures, and Bitcoin micro Bitcoin. All right, let's take a break. Let's get to some questions. And while we do that, I always have to do our hashtag slow markets. If you are on X, go ahead and submit your requests. Go ahead. We got a couple of them in already. Whether it's a trade you're in, whether it's your statistics, something, it's fun. We got some Already got some in from the usuals. I don't mind sharing. If you continue to, like, some of the traders who continue to share, it's almost like every night or every other night. I don't play it. I don't mind. If you want to keep sharing, I'm going to keep showing it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Having that dedication, being what do you call it? A loyal viewer, and participating. I love to see that. So there's the X, and then of course here is the gram. There's the gram, and when I'm not on Topstep TV, that's where I do some updates. I've been posting some pretty nice stuff there, some pretty juicy stuff. If you've seen it, I did some sparring today. I posted a quick video of that. When I spar, it's like 12 2-minute rounds, and it's kind of very light and fun. So there we go. There is the gram. There's the X. And let's get to some questions right after going through some of these hashtag slow markets. RLTW, one of the consistent ones. Base hits, cushion before tomorrow's open. About to watch slow markets with Coach DBA. Great work. XFA, you're up $20,500 in your XFA. These are some good-looking statistics. You're already up $650 tonight, so you've built that cushion up. I love to see it. I love to see the green. Keep it up. Just keep it up. Avid slow markets viewer, it looks like. Whether you're trading, and you're trading tonight, right? You're trading slow markets and green on the screen. Always appreciate it. And appreciate you. Always appreciate everyone who tunes in. And then we got one more, and then I'll get to some questions in the chat. SJR Trades, another one of those consistent viewers. Is this minis? Are you short NASDAQ 15 minis? Is that what I'm seeing? Up 7,000 in your XFA. You know what the most impressive thing on this picture is? The most impressive thing on this is up here to the right. You keep your phone at 100% charged. I can't do that. That's probably... Trying to get my phone to 100% and keeping it at there is rare. It's always around like 30%. Wow, interesting, impressive, great work. Oh yeah, that's 15 minis, man. Be careful. Make sure you just manage your risk. Manage your risk. Mine's at 78. Mine's at like 38 right now. Mine's at 38 right now. Big fan, Coach DBA had a good short on 2 micro gold this morning. You know who I talked to Ben. If you missed it, I was on Topstep TV today with Ben at 11:15 or 12:15 Central Time, so noon 15. And Ben, he does MMA over there in Montreal, Canada. I love hearing those stories, man. I loved it. Shout out if you are in slow markets. Big shout out to you. 21. A lot of discipline it takes to train in MMA. A lot of discipline in these markets, and appreciate it being on air with you. ATH all-time high. Buy the dip. Yeah. Let's see. We're still just hovering around here at 702, and let's get to some of these questions. Like I said, once we get to 500 likes, I'll review my trades for the New York session. I'll share my thought process, what I was looking at, what I've been doing. I'll kind of talk about my statistics. I've been doing pretty well. Base hits. That's been the name of the game for me the past few months. And, I'm up almost $6,000 in this XFA. It's just one XFA. I've been just trading this one. If you can't trade one, you can't trade 5. I'll just depending on how consistent I am, I might jump into another one. I'll have to pass a combine, right? I like passing combines. And, nice consistent base hits. Scroll down. I had that fat finger trade to start it off. I started off this account with a fat finger minus 1,400, but just base hits. $800 day today, 1,000 yesterday. They're getting bigger, right? The nice base hits. We're seeing a spike in volatility over the past couple days, so there's been better opportunities and I'll go over my trades. Like I said, as soon as we get to 500 likes here during slow markets, I will review the trades I had here in the NASDAQ, and we might be seeing one set up here. I mean, we came down to these 700s. Right, came down to this level, and we are finding some buyers. At least we're holding temporarily. So the question is, do we have a nice... Oh, I can move that one. Do we have a nice bounce up? Can we bounce? Is there a trade, or are we going to fail and break through this? Fail and break through it. Let's take a look at gold. We'll take a look at gold again. Finding some buyers stepping in there. Wait, your trades are only $80 in profit for most of them? Micros, Bubby Prime. Like I said, 500 likes. We could review them. Yeah, I've been trading micros. I've been trading on, if you missed it, I traded last night here during slow markets, and then I traded on TopstepTV. I had that trade going on when I was with Ben at 12:15 a.m. or p.m. Central Time. It's on. It's all recorded. Looking good. Hey, traders. Nice. Do you trade? Yep, mostly micros. How many micros do you recommend for a 50K account, Coach? So this isn't financial advice, and it's hard to say. I would say whatever you think, probably smaller. When I talk to my VIP team, if this was a perfect world, and if I was brand new to trading and I was just starting out, the best thing for me, which is, it's hard to say, right? Easy to say and hard to do. And a lot of people don't want to do it because it sounds like a waste of time for them. But if I was to start over trading from the very beginning, I would trade one micro for 3 months. One micro. I was saying a year, but everyone just didn't even like. I don't even think there was anybody that was willing to do that. Trade one micro for an entire year and try and find consistency there. Sounds boring, right? But that's the reality of trading. If I could start over from the very beginning, I would trade one micro for 3 months. Instead of a year, I'd just say 3 months because that sounds a little bit better. And then if I find consistency, then I would trade 2 micros for 3 months. And if I continue to see that consistency, I'd trade 3 micros, and I'll slowly scale up every 3 months. It's boring. You're not going to be seeing thousands and thousands of dollars that you see on social media, but it's real. It's consistent. And then, maybe in, a year, I would be up to 4 or 5 micros. And that's what you want. You want that consistency. Good trading is boring. Yes, Lido. You wrote that down in your journal. I've said that for a while. It's one of those things which it's true. It really is. You just follow the process. It's the same process, slow and steady. The point of trading is, hey, I'm going to be able to trade tomorrow. In a year from now, I'm still going to be in the same account trading. That's where the mainstream social media on all these affiliates and a lot of people that you see on social media, it pisses me off because usually it's too big, too fast. It's all the thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's really unrealistic, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I got this huge payout in a week and I made $4,000, and then the next week it's blown and they're in another account, right? That's not the world of reality in trading. The reality of trading is it's a grind. It's consistent. It's boring. You want to get to that live account. You want to become a better trader and get that independence, right? How nice would it be to know that the account you have today, you're going to have that in a year from now, right? You're going to not blow account for another year, or you're going to have that consistency. Some of the best traders that I've seen here at Topstep and reviewed some trader statistics, they keep that XFA or live account or combine, they just keep it open. They grind, and they size down, they size up, they struggle, they get through whatever it takes, and they keep the account open. One of the hardest parts of trading is just to break even. If you could break even for 3 months and then you start to size up, then, you're there. You're halfway there. You develop a process. And then conditions change. We see that. We see that here in gold. We see that here in these markets in the NASDAQ. And is it really a good, consistent strategy if you haven't tested it in different market conditions? And then can you really test it in like 2 or 3 weeks? No. That's why, for me and my statistics, this is still not enough. If I was to see these stats, okay, you have some traction, all right? Whatever I'm trading, how I'm trading, the strategy I'm trading, the process I'm trading, it's looking good so far. Now, if I could continue to do this, I'm going to have some red days, but if I could continue to do this for the next 3 months, then I could come back and say, okay, this is a valid strategy. I've hit the 3 month mark. and maybe I hit the 6-month mark, and then after that, you can start showing consistency and having that confidence in, in these different market conditions. All right, let's go through this. Leader bomb, 80 trades is crazy. Well, it's not 80 trades. It's like 4 or 5, and then scaling in, scaling out with micros. We're finding some buyers stepping here in the NASDAQ. Finding some buyers stepping in the NASDAQ. I was up 6K in my XFA, and my biggest regret was not taking a payout because I blew it. Kerry Fox, that's unfortunate. You've done it once, you could do it again, and that's kind of what I was mentioning, right? You see a lot of people, they size up too fast. They grow an account really fast. They get to those big dollar amounts, and then it doesn't last long. Easy come, easy go. It's easy to make money. It's harder to keep money. It's saying for a reason, right? I could pull out. I could have. Yeah. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. It's probably going to weigh on you a lot more mentally than it should, right? Don't let that loss get to you. Why don't you want to take a payout? Because that's my goal right now is not a payout, right? I'm building a buffer. I got $5,900. My goal is to find consistency, build this account, get to a live account, and show that consistency. If I take a payout, I would probably take out maybe $1,900 or $900, maybe $1,200 down to $4,500. But I don't want to do that. I want to be able to build a buffer so that way when I do go through a drawdown, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because I will go through a drawdown. That's the reality. It's not green every day. Unfortunately, I've been on a pretty good green streak this month, but that's going to end, and I would, easily I might have 3 red days in a row. But I want that buffer. I need that buffer, and I need to keep showing consistency. And then once I get to a live account, I'll consider taking a payout after I show consistency in the live account. But my situation is most likely different than your situation. If your situation is like, yeah, I need that $900, or I could really use that $900 or X amount of dollars so I could start a new combine, right? Maybe I need a payout and then I can start a new combine. You can do that, right? You can take it with payout. You can start a new combine or pay a bill, pay off debt, because that would be, your money in your pocket. Fiery says, like the video. Need that trade breakdown. Hey, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to chat. You like the video, I'll do a trade breakdown. And let me get to some music. Let me know if it's too loud, chat. I got to put my speakers on. Maybe. It's liked. Not 500. How 499. 499 because there's always someone out there watching it on TV that can't hit that like button. Gold. Well, we're watching NASDAQ go sideways. Let's take a look at gold. We are past the top of the hour. We are catching a bid on gold. So we did hold this level. Buyer stepped in, that's for sure. Right back to settlement. Settlement's just right here in these mid 70s. Speak for them on my phone and my TV. Yeah. Is payout cap per XFA? Yeah, Greg, that's my understanding. You can get to a live account without taking a payout. Oh, wow. Look at that blast in gold. Yeah, just show consistency. You could work with the risk team. You could probably have a phone call with the risk team once you show consistency, and they're like, hey, why aren't you taking payout? Like, I just want to go get to a live account with a bigger buffer. And like I said, the risk team's amazing. Oh, I just noticed. There we go. Look at the buyers stepping in here in the gold. Let's see if there's some trades. I trade micros here. Well, I built that. All right. Past combine gold all day. Great work. How much of your trading strategy versus just risk management and psychology? Jazzy Jeff, that is an amazing question. I'm going to say 80% of my trading is just risk management and psychology. 20% is trading strategy. 20% is trading strategy. The rest is risk, trade, and psychological management, right? Risk management, trade management, and the psychology of trading. Yeah. The strategy is the easy part. I'm gonna be honest. Strategy is the easy part. Basic, simple, straightforward technical analysis. The hard part is the risk management, the trading, being able to manage the trade, and then the psychological side of trading. Thank you, Tevin. Appreciate. Hey, I do this for everybody here. We're almost to those 500 likes. 499. 5 micro scalped. 360 on gold. Let's move that for DOD. What do you mean DOD? DOD? Of course, Orchid. There has to be at least 1% frozen peas. Oh yeah, you remember that? Hey, I still have frozen peas. That's my snack of choice is frozen peas. Emotions 1000%. Honest opinion on back to funded. That's like an arm plus a leg quarter. Yeah, I'll give my honest opinion on back to funded. The back to funded, it's definitely not for everybody, nor should it be. If you take 3 months to pass a combine and maybe you make a mistake and you still have confidence in your trading system and you're okay with, wow, look at this gold rally now. It's really catching a bit. And you're okay with it, then yeah, that's a great, because, you know, to some people, and, you know, maybe even, I mean, there's quite a lot of people that instead of spending another 3 months grinding out a combine and they still have confidence in their system, it could be a lot better just, okay, I'll just go get back, right? And then sometimes it might even be cheaper in terms of like, oh, I blew an XFA, and now it takes you like 2 or 3 combines to get back there. So it depends. I think it's a great option for traders that can take advantage of it. Is it do you have to? No. Nope. It's a great option. And look at this gold. Look at this gold. Oh, okay. All right, we're catching up. We're buyers are stepping in on gold. 69 was the buy. Yep. Look at, we bounced right there at 69. It's something about that number. Something about that number. Okay. All right. Yep, I'm not going to chase this one. John Wick candle, yes. Yeah. That's next time I see that number flash, I got to trade it. What's NASDAQ doing? 7, we're kind of not going anywhere. That's gold. Gold's the market here in the slow markets. That's the market to be in right now. Chase it. Chase it. Yeah, Greg. Neither do I. I don't know. People just think that number is funny. It's just going. We're going. Are we going to go right back up to these 700? Are we just seeing this back and forth here on gold? Yeah, that gold. Wow. Let's see. Is there news? Do you take trades during live? Yeah, I do, Jack. Jack trades. If there's a trade setup, I take it. And we still have that Bank of Japan rate decision tonight. I'm not seeing any other news, right? Any other craziness? Look, it just keeps going. 9 p.m. gold rules. Yes. Yes, it is. Where's Jay? Jay joins me on Mondays and Wednesdays. Gold in long at 76. Great work, the Holt. If you were able to, man, we're going now. Check out silver. Is silver following it? Yeah, it is. Silver's following it. Ooh, silver's looking a lot more attractive, to be honest. Right? We got this nice. We have a reference. We have a good reference point here in silver for a breakout. Nice little pennant, wedge, Dorito. But I don't trade silver, so I do have to pass. Even though it's attractive and tempting, I have to pass. I'm watching gold. We did break through this level, so. Where's Coach Jay when gold needs him? I don't know. Where's Hoop? Coach Hoop, where are you? Usually Coach Hoop is in the chat. Watching gold. Do we go back? Do we just go to 3,700 here? I got into 2 gold trades today. Nothing. This is more. Hey, we're almost to the 500 likes, so I'll review my trades. We got about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. Done for the night. Caught 10 points on 3 micros. Done for the night. Great work, Alex. Nothing we could do. If you miss that move, you don't really want to chase it. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait, see if we get a pullback. I'm going to look for support to become resistance. Resistance becomes support. Maybe we come back down to these 79s. Maybe we come back down to like some level and find some buyers stepping in. Then I'll look for a trade here. Banana Man. Ooh, you're looking for a long. You changed your mind. Get in on the retest of that level. Yeah, we'll see if we could find a pullback to get in here. You got 26 on a micro with it. Just trail my stop way too close right now. Yeah, gold is the market. We're moving, and it's only 0.12%. So let's measure it. We can. Yeah, about a 0.4% move. Next move on the gold is when London opens with the Aaron trades. Richard Harris still short from. You're trading the ES, huh? Gold is slowing down around the 5-minute. Do you use any indicators? I use what's on the screen. I used to go through a lot of indicators. Right now, it's just pure price action. I have line set 690 for potential resistance. Okay, let's see. I can see 688s. I could see these 88s acting as a level of resistance if we could get there. There's some support. It seems good. Gold moves a lot in a short period of time, and then it just chills for a long. Yeah, that's kind of what it's been. We move, consolidate, rally, right? Expand, contract, expand, right? Trend, consolidate, trend. There's lots of different ways that people have named it. Good evening. Do you have any thoughts on crude oil for tonight? We'll take a look at crude. I'm eyeballing gold right now. We're seeing some movement, and I don't want to take my eyes off of it. We'll look at crude oil here in a moment, and then hopefully review some of my trades during the New York session. If we could get to 499 likes. Time to rip back down. Well, we're getting a pullback. Let's see if we get to those 78s, 79s. Rinsing stops first. Japan, 2-year national bond yield climbs to peak since 2008. Did we get that news? Oh yeah, right there. It was there right at the top of the hour, huh? Japan, 2-year national bond yield. Ooh. We have the Bank of Japan decision. Bank of Japan decision coming out tonight. Let's take a look. On that note, what's the Nikkei doing? Nikkei is the Japanese market. Man, it's following gold. Right up. Right up. Oh, that could have. Oh, man. It's tempting. Whenever I look at markets that I used to trade this for a long time. This is the Nikkei. It's Japanese market. We had that big breakout, and that was a pullback. That was definitely a buyable pullback here in the Nikkei. But we have the Bank of Japan decision coming out tonight, so I'm just, not going to tempt myself. All right, let's focus at the task at hand, and that's gold. Task at hand is gold. Almost to those 500 likes. Another carry trade, Sam. How do you avoid being moved to a live account sooner or later? I don't know about avoiding might not be the right word. The risk management team looks at the trader's overall stats, right? Not only that account, but like how many combines did he just go through, or he or she just went through, how are they trading, how big of size before they make those decisions. I know shoulder tap is back on TopstepTV. That'd be a great question. But I don't think a trader would want to avoid being moved to a live. do we think Bank of Japan decision will sway the market much? I don't know, Sage. I have not paid too much attention to the Bank of Japan decision. Maybe it brings in volatility. Maybe it brings in maybe it's as expected and it's like a non-event. Yeah, live is where you want to be. Live is real. It's a real account, real money. Your orders go through the markets. If you make $1,000, you actually make $1,000 from the markets. It's not simulated. Yeah, the risk team wants to see you manage risk, right? And it's mutual benefit. You get 90%, which is really high. Yeah, there's other companies, it's like 70%, 80%. But yeah, here at Topstep, you do get 90%. And then eventually, I mean, my personal preference and what I tell traders is what the goal should be is you want to take payouts, right? You want to get to the live account, gain that confidence. Like, yeah, you know, I can trade the live account. I could take payouts. You take those payouts. You find that consistency in the live account. You build that confidence. And then eventually, you just go start your own, right? You take those payouts. You keep trading the live account. And with those payouts, you go and you fund your own personal account and you do well. And you're independent, right? You're an independent trader. You don't rely on anybody, and you can do it from wherever you are around the world. Like, that's the goal. Yeah, you wouldn't mind trading a live account as a day job? Now, let's see if this gold could have a deeper pullback in here. Are performance bonus still a thing in live, or was that a it's been a thing, Ken. It's not just promotion, Topstep. It's concrete, right? There's the performance bonuses here at Topstep. We can pull those up. We can pull those up. We can talk about it. We're almost to the 500 likes. Yeah, we pull it up. Performance bonuses. And if you have any questions, just go on the Topstep's website and they have a help page and you could just search for it, right? If you have any questions like that, go through the program, you could search for it. Right there, look up bonus, and here it is. Here it is, Topstep Live Performance Bonus. This goes to details. You make money in the live account, Topstep gives you a bonus for it. Right? Make 15,000. Hey, here's $1,000. It's mutual beneficial, right? But ultimately, yeah, you want to take payouts. You want to show and have that confidence. It's like nothing's worse than like, oh man, I trade so good in a sim account, but then you try and go open up your personal account and you end up, risking and trading in a live environment, and it's different, right? It's so different psychologically, and then you're risking your own money. If you lose $1,000, you're losing $1,000 of your own money, and so there's a lot more pressure on you psychologically, and so yeah, definitely there's a difference between like a funded account and a live account. And once you are in a live account and you can gain that confidence, man, it's a beautiful thing, right? Beautiful thing. Topstep. Yeah. Cost of doing business, the lower barrier to entries. Prop firms are an amazing thing for us as futures traders, right? It's a low barrier to entry. You don't have to pay $25,000 for a pattern day trader, and you don't have to put your own money at risk into the markets. Should we go up? Okay. All right. We're at 498 likes. One more like, and we got it. Okay. 499. There we go. That's good enough. That is good enough. Let's go through this as promised. Let's take a look at my trade. I had two trades today. I had two trades today in the NASDAQ, and I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go ahead and turn this music off so we don't get distracted. And let's go through them. Yes, I'm going to go through them in detail. What I was looking at, what I was thinking, what was going through my mind, how I executed the trade, and how I managed it. That's what I've seen that traders really love. I talked about this with my VIP team. Shout out to my VIP team. They got the inside scoop. I went through the details with them before, and I spent a lot of time with them going through these details. They get the good stuff. You guys get good stuff, but it's a little bit later and a little more crunched for time. So you get more of a summary. Yeah, VIP team gets spoiled, that's for sure. Now, let's take a look. So we have to understand, number one, before I start trading, I have to understand the situation, right? Like a quarterback, hey, is this first quarter, second quarter, fourth quarter? What down is it? What's the situation? Are we up? Are we down? Are we ahead by 50 points? Do I need to, throw the ball? Stream went down? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We got the minions not wanting me to give the good stuff. Back up. We're up. We're good. We're good. We're good. There's lagging. We're good. We're good. Let me see. Okay. We're good. Okay. I was gonna say I'm just getting ready to go into the good stuff, and then the stream starts to take a hit. But we're good. We're all good. I don't know what that was, but where I left off was, where did I leave off? I was talking about, as like a quarterback, understanding the situation. We just finished FOMC. The market was up, over 1%. We had Intel up 30%. We just got employment numbers, and everything was good. This is where we were at when I looked at the markets. So the first thing I do is the same thing I do in slow markets. Okay, I look at higher time frames, right? So I was looking at higher time frames, and I'm saying, okay, that's where we're at, right? Nice wick. We had a wick down to these 590s. We rallied all the way up there, and we're bullish, right? We're in a nice bullish trend. So I wanted to be in the direction of the trend. That was first. That was the first. The very first thought process, like, okay, we're consolidating here. It's pretty dang bullish. We tested these 800s twice. And then what I did was I zoomed into a 5-minute chart, and then that right here was where I was at. This is where I was at. So we had a big move up to these 800s, pullback, big move, hit all-time highs, pullback. And so I'm watching these markets. This was the first level I'm watching. I'm like, okay, can we get down here? Maybe we could get somewhere lower. We have a pivot right here at 760s. We have a pivot right here at 750s. So this is a nice zone I'm interested in. I'm interested in this zone, right? It's a big zone. It's about 30 points. I'd like to see the market pull back into this zone somewhere, and then maybe find something like a 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute, maybe a double bottom, some type of market structure that I could come in here and buy, right? And sure enough, we sold off down to the zone. We broke through it. We came down and we broke below this pivot. If my stop loss was down here, it would have hit my stop loss. I can imagine there's some traders that were long, and how many times I say it, stop loss is a better entry. Well, we got down to this pivot, and the first thing I did was like, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to start looking for a long. And sure enough, we consolidated there again. We held those 30s, and that immediately was like, okay, I think I'm going to be getting into a long position. Sure enough, we got the 3-bar reversal. So my first trade, I ended up getting in long. I don't remember the exact price, but I got in long here. My stop loss was too tight. All right, my stop loss was too tight. And, sure enough, boom, hit my stop loss. And what did I just say? Stop loss was a better entry. We came down, hit my stop loss, but then I got back into it. I was like, hey, first trade today, loss. I'm going to get back in. So I ended up getting back in. I got in at like 56, 60. I don't know. And I was on Topstep TV at 12:15 p.m. Central Time when I had this trade going on. And, sure enough, I got in, same stop loss, and this one worked out absolutely beautiful. It worked out beautiful, got in, I was able to take profits, and this was a successful trade. Very successful trade. It worked out great. And so that was everything, right? Not too complicated, not some advanced, like, this is a super secret, and I'm not going to tell anybody. There's no super secret sauce. It was very basic, technical, but once again, the hardest part was the psychological standpoint of being able to get back into this trade and place the trade, manage risk. The other hard part was managing the trade, right? Like, where's the stop loss? Ah, man, I had it too tight. Oh, okay. Well, it's setting up. This trade's not invalid. It's valid because we are still holding this level and we're bounced, right? Got in with a trend and we bounced. Unfortunately, I got chopped up. And, would present itself again. I did not take this trade. I wish I did, right? I wish I came in and sure enough, we bounced. I mean, could have maybe scalped some of this, but this was at the end of power hour. This was the end of power hour on this one. And I posted this trade on social media, actually. And that's the point of following me on Instagram and Twitter, is you could get some of this inside stuff as well. And what I ended up doing was, I'm like, okay, this rejection at this level is starting to show me that we might break down and at least come and test, 700s. Maybe we run some stops here before the end of the day. So that rejection triggered me and say, okay, I'm going to look for a short. And sure enough, I ended up getting into a short, and that one worked out pretty well. That one worked out. It was a short breakdown. It was a quick scalp. I think I got like 10, 15 points on this one. And those were the two main trades. Looking for longs. That changed. We're going to the end of the day, into power hour, and we started to see that rejection, that major rejection after we made this lower high, right? That was another thing. A lower high. And then, we had that rejection not once, but twice, and a lower high. I didn't see this until now, but yeah, I did not see this, but that added to it. That's nice to see. But I ended up getting in short and caught that nice short to the downside. It was a breakdown, and that one was a kind of a quick one once it did go. But I ended up getting short earlier, and I was just holding it. I'm like, okay, this is going to take forever. This is taking forever. We're just chopping around. Hopefully we don't chop around all day, but we ended up getting in that momentum. Those were the two main trades. Like I said, it's the same technicals I go over every single night during slow markets, right? Basic support and resistance, higher highs, higher lows. I don't want to say it's so simple and straightforward, but the technical analysis is, like I said, the hardest part is just managing the trade, managing the risk, and then managing the psychological side. Those were the two main trades for the New York session. And this is the same type of process, the same setups that I have been taking on all of these trades, every single one of them. When I'm on slow markets, when I'm on TopstepTV, it's the same process. It's the same thought process. It's the same setups from a technical standpoint, right? They're not going to be perfect every single time. They're not going to be this perfect 3-bar reversal. It might be chop. There was one day, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, where it was range bound. It was range bound very similar to this. And I was able to identify the range, and I started to buy the bottom of the range, and I was selling the top of the range. And that's what I did for the whole day, right? I worked out really well. I was on TopstepTV. I know Andre was there. I'm like, okay, base hits. I identified the market condition. We identified the range, technical pattern, consolidating market, buy low, sell high, manage your risk. And that one worked out pretty well. And then there was another day, which I think that was Tuesday, and Tuesday, it was different. Tuesday was very different. I made 100 points off of a short. I don't remember what it was, but I made a 100-point banger off of a short during fast markets. I think that one was Wednesday morning. Yeah, it was Wednesday morning. It was Wednesday morning. It was this one. Basic, simple, straightforward technicals. If you've watched it, you could rewatch it Wednesday morning. It's recorded on TopstepTV during fast markets. It was identifying what was going on. It was like market, we sold off. We tested the overnight lows, and then we started to rally. We started to get a pullback. Well, I started shorting it. And I was shorting a pullback. I identified the market condition. I was watching. I do watch like NVIDIA, Apple, the other big tech stocks that are in the NASDAQ, because that's what we're trading. The NASDAQ is a pool or a basket of major tech stocks, Tesla, Amazon, Google, and all those other stocks. So I do watch those, and I was able to identify. We broke down, we pulled back, and then I was building a position. I ended up building a position as we started pushing higher, and then sure enough, with 100-point banger. It was a 100-point banger, and I'm like, with micros. It was with micros. I built a position in micros, and I ended up closing it like down here, and so I captured 100 points on this one, and it worked out really well. Different situations, different scenarios. Not every single scenario is going to be the same, and we need to understand that, because these markets are never the same, right? Different patterns, different setups, different situations. Once again, the key to everything is risk management, trade management, and the psychological aspect. Yeah, so how's that for a dive in that? Was that worth the 500 likes, chat? Was that worth the 500 likes? It was to the tick? Yeah, it was to the tick. Chris in Tucson, Arizona says, Dakota, I understood one trade. You did live and could anticipate what you were doing. Good. Awesome. Well, that's what I want. I want everybody in chat to be able to see these markets and say, hey, I understand exactly what you're doing, and I seen it, and maybe you even trade it better than I do. I guarantee you, you probably can be a better trader. If you're not, maybe you already are a better trader than I am. I love to see it. I love to see traders be able to trade better than I am with my own teachings. It's like, I've been watching you for 2 years, and then you just passed me. I'm like, great. You trade better than I am with the way my own trading. Like that's pretty awesome. That's fulfilling. Especially when I was talking to Ben today. Ben at 12:15 Central, and he's 21, and he's like, I've been watching you for so long. I look up to you, and I could tell you that's the most fulfilling thing, and that's one of the most fulfilling feelings that there is. It means more than money when it comes to being a coach. And then to hear him, like, he's doing really well in his XFAs, I'm like, all right, maybe you're going to be a better trader than I am. But super grateful for that. No, no, it was not. It was not. It felt like it though, right? And that's why I was joking with him, like, man, checks in the mail. He's saying all those nice things about it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to be a part of, and it just reinforces and motivates me on what I'm doing here at Topstep. Thoughts on tomorrow? Tomorrow, it might get messy. Like I said, it's Friday. We finished roll. We had FOMC, and it's triple witching, means options are expiring. Major options, right? Quarterly, weekly, daily, month. Yeah. So just understand there could be some crazy price actions. Crazy price action tomorrow. And on that note, I will be on tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow. And before I go through that, we have a couple more submissions. We have a couple more submissions for hashtag fast market or hashtag slow markets. Look at this. Edris? Gold hot 50K combine. So up $1,400 on that trade. Look at this. Great trade. Is this just 3 micros? Three minis? 3 minis. Yeah, good trade. Look at that. Nailed it. Great work. Some great traders in slow market. Making more money than I am here. Making some more money than I am. Wow. Awesome. Isaiah, please, some honest feedback. Okay, you know what? I don't plan on reviewing statistics, but because you submitted this, I'm gonna give you some good feedback before we finish the session off. So you tagged me on this, hashtag slow markets, Isaiah. I'm going to go through this. You didn't put much in terms of what you want me to review, but this is an XFA. You're up $7,000. I don't know if this is a payout or not. Let's look. Risk reward's good, almost 1.5%. Trade win percentage. When I see this, immediately the first thing that I think of is just you need to take more quality trades. Quality over quantity. I like this. I like that your win duration is longer than your loss duration. Let's go through this. Oh, that was just one bad day. One bad day. You need a daily loss limit. That was minus $5,600. If you had a daily loss limit, you avoid this. That's what, even though the funded accounts don't have a daily loss limit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't put one there yourself. You determine what your daily loss limit. That's not too bad though. Look, I mean, you have one bad day, just take out your entire week. Great trading, right? Great trading. You had enough left in your account to withstand that, but definitely use a daily loss limit because that, let's dive in it. And it wasn't just one trade. It looks like it was a bunch of trades on the ES, all long, right? Long. And then you just jumped into a short. This seems like it's emotional. This is emotional. Honest feedback is you're trading good. Look, you're even up money, but then you let it get to you. I think this is possibly emotion. If you have a daily loss limit, you're good. I would recommend having your daily loss limit at whatever your best day was. What's your best day in this account? This is just a very basic template. Say your best day was $2,500. If you have your daily loss limit at that, you're good, right? $2,500, you'd still be green for the week. So if it is, you're still trading great. You're still trading great. You're up $7,000 this month. Just if you have a daily loss limit, you're gonna cut those losses short. Just take the hit, man. Just take the hit. It's so hard to do. You just gotta take the hit, move on to the next day, and have a short-term memory. Forget about it, and get back to trading good. You don't want 2 bad days of this. Don't get emotional. Just reset, focus. Maybe you take tomorrow off, take the nice weekend off, and hit it again Monday. Make sure you have a daily loss limit and risk less, right? Cut those losses short. So when you do have a tilt day or something like this, you don't let it hurt your account. The biggest thing is being able to trade tomorrow. Like I was saying earlier, the big numbers are nice, right? But what's even more nice is being able to just have the account open so you can trade over a long period of time. You need to look at this as a marathon, right? You need to look at this as a marathon. You want to say, I want to keep this account open until next year, right? I'm looking at this 1, 2, 3 years from now that you're going to be here. You're going to be trading. You're going to be a consistent and successful trader. And you can only do that by staying alive and staying consistent and not blowing the account. So be careful. Like I said, it's a difficult thing to do. Have a daily loss limit. Daily loss limit saves accounts. I know there's not one here in the funded accounts, and Topstep trusts us as professional traders to set our own, which we should. All right, let's get back to these markets, finish it up. Last few minutes here. NASDAQ, we have done nothing. We've consolidating, slowly drifting higher, still hanging around settlement. Gold, we are getting a little bit of a pullback here. Not enough for me to just say I want to get in long. That was a nice rally. So I'm going to pass on gold. It's still pretty tempting. Just not enough time for me tonight to be getting into a long here on gold, but definitely I can see that. Settlement is basically right here at 78s. So neither plus or minus on gold nor NASDAQ. It is Friday's price action. Capital preservation. If you have a good week, don't turn it into a bad week. Last thing you want to do is go into a weekend on a bad note, because then you just think about it. You think about it all weekend. I've done it way too often where I would just sit there and I have a bad Friday. I'm like, this sucks. You just can't get it out of your head. You just can't get it out of your head. And you can't really reset, right? You can't really reset if you have a bad Friday. because you're always thinking about it, and then you're anxious. You want to hurry and get back into it Sunday night or Monday and try and make it up, and it just turns into a very vicious, very ugly cycle, right? So just take your time. Hopefully I can demonstrate doing that as well. I'm trying to lead by example, and hopefully answering questions. Look, I mean, come on, I'm trading micros here, and so far I've been doing really well in micros. Scale down, size down, size down. Tell everybody trades such big size. The P&Ls look great until they're red, right? The trades are great when you trade big size and you make money and you win. But then when you start to lose or struggle or get through a drawdown, then typically it's a blown account. Hopefully we could have everyone start, size down and consistent. Size down and consistency. That is priority over the position size, because you could always size up later, right? You show consistency for a few months, you could always size up. Sizing up's the easy part. Sizing down is the more difficult part. So yeah, you guys got the good stuff tonight. Let's see in the chat. 1 through 10. How did you like tonight's slow markets? And then what do you want to see more of? I'm always curious. What do you want to see more of? And while I do that, while you answer in the chat, I will be on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday the 19th. I will be on VIP Lounge at 11:15 a.m. Central Time. Me, Coach Jay, and Mandy. And then guess what? I think everybody should watch Shoulder Tap tomorrow. Watch Shoulder Tap tomorrow. I'll be there. Noon. Watch it. Be there. Solid 10. Solid 7, Will. Will's got skills. 10. No snacks. Do you like the trade reviews? Okay, good. Want to see my technical analysis? Hey, every night I'm here. Sunday night through Thursday. FedMZ. Nope. But be there. Be there or be square. Yeah, Holt. Solid 10. Okay. Yeah, sock rates 6.9. 10. More reviews. Yeah, hey, more of this. If I'm taking trade, if I see something good and you guys want to see it, I'll present it. I'll talk about it. And if it helps you, then that's what it needs to be. That's what I want to be able to do. Have traders like Ben be able to find success, help traders. Because I tell you what, that's one of the most fulfilling things. So fulfilling. Like, sure what? I had a $90,000 winning day at the beginning of the month. And having that conversation with Ben today, it felt much better. Yeah. It was more fulfilling to have a conversation with a trader that someone that looks up to you and have that conversation than a $90,000 winning day. That's for sure. Like the talk on how you figured it was going to roll based on resistance, etc. Not to look for more. Yeah, base hits. Base hits has been a game changer the past couple months for me. Hey, sometimes that's what it takes. You take a loss and you get back into it. Same with my boxing. You get punched in the face. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to just sit there and cry and let them just keep punching you in the face? Or are you going to just get back up and, remember everything, follow your process, and try and do your best? Yeah. I posted a sparring video today on Instagram. That's why you should follow me. Perspectives, right? Level to level, goal to goal. Keep the grind on. Really enjoy listening. Thank you, Chess3, JP Chess3. Any book recommendations? Book recommendations. The Obstacle is the Way. It's not about trading. It's about more of a psychological side, right? Obstacle is the Way. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday is my book recommendation. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're ending it a few minutes early. Like I said, tomorrow's a good one. Tune in. That's all I'm going to say. That's the only teaser I'm going to give you. Like I said, tomorrow, doing Muhammad's on for Fast Markets. I'm going to be on for the VIP Lounge, me, Jay, and Mandy. And then just watch Shoulder Tap. It's immediately after that. It's noon Central. So Take care, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.